Okay, this is for the benefit of those Americans who, like myself, did not grow up with the sport of soccer and who may not be familiar with some of the fine points of the game. So I'm going to present a recap of the group stage, how it's structured, what the rules are for advancing to the knockout round. I hope you'll find it interesting. First, let's have a quick recap of the structure of the group stage. There are 8 teams identified by the letters A through H. Each group includes 4 teams, that's a total of 32. Each team plays in a round-robin series, that's a total of 6 games, 3 for each team. 2 of the teams for each group advance to the knockout round based on the following 4 factors. The primary factor is the total number of points. Teams are awarded 3 points for a win, 1 point for a tie, and none for a loss. If 2 teams have the same number of points, there are 3 levels of tiebreaker. First, it's a goal differential. That's goals for minus the goals against. Next is the higher number of goals scored. And last is the qualification rank. Teams are selected to participate in the World Cup based on a series of qualification matches. The results of these matches are used to seed the teams in their respective groups. In the event points, goal differential, and number of points are equal, the team with the higher seeding is promoted to the knockout stage. This is the website, go2wc.com. It's a great site for testing potential score combinations to see which team will advance to the knockout round. Click on the letter A through H at the top to see the schedule of teams for that group. Below the schedule is a tabulator grid. The countries are listed left to right in the order in which they are seeded. This is important. Seeding is the final tiebreaker, as we'll demonstrate shortly. The badge numbers indicate the current rank for each team, and the color green indicates which teams will advance to the knockout round. Click on the name of any team to increment the score. I'll use the example Group B. Let's just assume that England defeats Iran by a score of 1-0. The United States defeats Wales by a score of 2-0. If we now check the tabulator grid, the USA is assigned position 1, and Great Britain position 2. This is due to the fact that while both of them have the same score, the same points, 3, the goal differential is different. For Great Britain it's +1, for the USA it's +2. Now let's assume that Iran defeats Wales by a score of 3-1. Notice, Iran has now displaced Great Britain as team number 2. The reason for this is, although they have the same number of points, and although they have the same goal differential, +1 versus +1, Iran has a higher number of goals scored with 3. Now let's assume that the United States defeats Wales by a score of 3-2. If we now check the scoring, Iran has displaced the United States as a number 1 team, right? They both have the exact same number of points. The goals for and goals against are exactly the same. Iran is defaulting to number 1 based on the final tiebreaker. When everything else is equal, the team with the higher seeding is awarded the superior rank. Okay, at this point I'd like to show you how the system works when the games are actually in progress. I'll jump over here to Group E, where we have simulated what the system might look like after 4 games have been completed. The scores have been updated automatically by the system and are displayed in red. So with 2 games to go, what we'd like to know is, what can Germany do that will enable them to advance to the knockout round? Presently, Spain is in number 1 with 6 points, Japan has 4 points, and Germany only 1. If Japan defeats Spain, or just ties Spain, they will have 5 or more points, which means there's no way forward for Germany. If Spain defeats Japan, let's say by 1-0, and Germany defeats Costa Rica by 1-0, well, Japan is still in number 2 because they have a 0 goal differential, whereas Germany's is -1. If Germany scores 2 goals, they will now advance based on the fact that the 2 of them have equal goal differentials, but Germany has a higher number of goals scored. So now you see how the rules are applied to the group stage. Now let's look at the knockout round. Click on this upper green arrow to see how the knockout rounds will now evolve. The system is really quite smart. It automatically maps the correct number 1 rank from A, for example, to the number 2 rank in B. Plus, on this first row here, Qatar versus the United States, Argentina versus Denmark, is the mapping for the next phase. So let's make that Argentina. I'll click submit here. Now we've got Argentina, United States. The system is really doing a great job. I'll make this Argentina. Let's make this Spain. I'll click submit again. Let's make it Argentina versus Spain. Submit. And now for the final, I'll take Argentina, and it automatically generates a completed grid from all of my selections going all the way back to the group stage. I think the system is really terrific. Now, if you'd like, you can click on this to save your data, input your email and password, and you will receive a link that will enable you to distribute an email to your friends that shows the grid that you have created. So again, the website is go2wc.com. Please give it a try. I think you'll find it very helpful. Thank you for watching.